Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. Now, Cheese is having a week off. They've got some travel with the Roosters and we brought in the great Aaron Woods.
Off the bench, Big Jimmy.
Off the bench, off a win.
Oh, a lucky win.
A lucky win.
Well, we made it hard on ourselves in the last 20, 25 minutes, but we'll take the 2 points.
Yeah, look, I was, I'm not going to lie, I was cheering for Cronulla.
Oh, come on.
Because our friend Charlie White.
Yes, what happened?
Well, each and every week on the show, we the both of us give a
Oh,
tip.
tip, yes.
He give a tip.
What was his tip?
It was Manly to win, Ola Kawatu anytime try scorer, and who else? And Ronaldo anytime try scorer.
And Ronaldo, he got it.
He did, but Charlie's gone off early, going, the Oracle is back, $16 bet in. He's been texting the group, showing off, and then obviously the Sharks were coming back.
So he's almost mocked us. He's put the moz on us.
Yeah, he's gone off early. He's gone off early, Chico White, but
I'm gonna have to have a word to him.
Yeah,
because mate,
you just gotta sit on that bet. You know it's coming.
Don't say a word.
Don't say a word.
Wait, not till the final whistle's blown.
Yeah,
and then what about when Will Kennedy gets that ball? All there was pass left. There was about 4-1.
Yeah.
Phew. Thank God he didn't.
Yeah. Are Manly back in contention now?
Yeah, we're 1 point out of the 8. So we're equal with Newcastle on 23.
Yeah.
And I think you've got Souths are on 24 with Para. And I think the Cowboys went to 26.
Yeah. See, I look at it basically as 13 wins and you're in.
Yep.
Maybe Newcastle or Manly because you got the 1 point. The 1 point.
The bye, yeah.
So with 6 rounds to go.
How good is it, Bat?
Mate, it's really Newcastle and Manly winning on the weekend has really added to the element of excitement as this playoff race.
Well, that's what you want. You don't want that sort of.
No, you don't want it sorted.
As a team, you want it, but then as a fan, you want to be able to watch a game, know that there's something on the line.
100%, and there is teams are jostling for top 4 for home semis, but also now I genuinely think the Knights and Manly are back in the hunt. They're only, I think, with 6 games to go, you've got to be looking to win 4.
You have to, yeah, and
you've got to win 4.
And the good thing about the draw, a lot of the teams around that logjam at the bottom of the 8 and even at the top of the 8, they're all playing each other.
Well, mate,
so the results are huge.
Mate, they are, and just before we get into all the hoo-ha around the jostle for the top 8, and obviously after the win, it was the first game for you good mate Matt Lodge, and you got to present him with his jersey. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was pretty happy for Lodgy. It was funny. We've both been to 5 clubs now, so I'm not the only one at Manly. So that was my first line that I said to Lodgy. I got to start with him obviously in 2014. He got an opportunity. We signed him from Melbourne Storm. He did he played the lower grades down there, and he's always got that potential, but obviously he's had a few off-field indiscretions. He's always got the ability. It's just getting his head right. And man, I thought he was enormous for us yesterday. He was a massive point of difference. We lose Paseka in the first 6-7 minutes, and to throw someone like Lodgy on, I thought his go forward was outstanding. Yeah, and then we lose Alawite in the second half. He's actually a really big signing for Manly now because he's brought some really good. One thing I noticed with Lodgy, when he first came to grade at Tigers, he was quiet but just wanted to play. He's matured so much. He's helping guys, he's grabbing players, getting them in the extras, helping them out. It's really good to see. It's really, it's rubbed off on other players at Manly so far.
Yeah, well, if you are going to make a charge towards the 8, you're certainly going to need him
100%
fit and firing. It is getting exciting, and it was really cool to see you present his jersey and even the photograph you showed of that first one for the Tigers.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to the boys to put it up, but it's pretty cool. So we had his brother Jack, and I'll never forget, he came in the sheds last night and he was like, mate, we've got to take a photo, I was like, mate, what for? And then he comes and he showed us the Tigers one. I was like, reminisce on the old times.
Who's aged better?
I reckon I have.
Okay.
I look similar to...
Yeah, you've got the same style. You've not changed your style much.
But Lodgy's got a lot better footy player. He's killing me. He's going well.
No, he is. Look, this battle for the top 8, Sharks lose another. Their draw is
It's a tough one.
very difficult. So they got Penrith away next week, then Souths, then Titans, the Cowboys away,
Wow.
the Knights, and the Raiders. And like I said, I think you've got to get to 13 wins.
That's a tough draw.
They're going to need to win 3 of those to get onto 13, which is tough. You know, like that's a.
I think they would have been banking on that one on the weekend.
Yeah, me
you
too.
know, if you're a realist and looking at your draw, that's a game that you need to win. You know, and I think that's a big opportunity missed for them. You know, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago they were in the top 4, coming third. So it just shows you if you have a couple of off games, you know, in back-to-back weeks, how far you can drop down the ladder. So, and like you said, Jimmy, the draw they've got, and they play, I think, South in Perth.
Yes,
like
that's
they've
right.
got some travel. Cowboys in North Queensland, Knights away, and Knights are playing some really good footy now.
Well, like I said, the Knights are back in the hunt.
They're back, yeah. And
They're back in the hunt, and how long that lasts,
But
we'll
I think
wait-
that's just come
wait and
upon going
see.
fullback.
Yeah, it is. But the Sharks, I can't get my head around it. I look at their team on paper and
Admittedly,
full
yesterday,
of quality. I've watched them a couple of times this year. They've been outstanding. They played the Cowboys at home.
Oh, they
I was at
bashed
that
them.
game, and it was just
Look,
they
Braden
were-
Ueli off the first kickoff, I think he made a 20-meter run, and just his intent. And
I
that
think
just,
they miss him. You know,
oh, he's huge for him.
I think they genuinely when his presence isn't there,
He's huge.
I think they really
Because he's
miss
a
him.
big body, he goes after the other front rows, and Rudolph's been out for a long period of time. I think Rudolph had nearly 10 to 12 games out.
Yeah.
You know, with the ligament in his toes, so he's just getting match fitness now. And then you've had Finnecane in and out with a couple of suspensions, which does hurt because he's one of their senior leaders there. You know, they had a couple of changes on the weekend. They obviously lose Wado with an injury. Moylan, I'm not sure if he got dropped or not.
Well, Moylan and Talakai both got dropped.
yeah. So Talakai was dropped
Talakai was
because he was on the bench.
Yeah, he was, and then
Royce Hunt, he was a late change.
They shifted him out of the team. Look at where Talakai, like where he was
He was playing Origin.
14 months ago.
Playing Origin.
There was a game he played against Manly.
Yeah, so-
against Manly, it was that Manly game last year,
Poor old Morgan Harper.
and it was just.
And that's what
he
we
was
said.
like on another planet.
So that game, they were winning 30-0 at half time, and Manly come back and almost stole it in the second half. And that's why it was funny yesterday. We were up 30-0, and then they almost stole it. So you just got to take the 2 points. If you had said to us at the start of the week, you're going to beat Cronulla and get 2 points, doesn't matter how, you just take it.
Absolutely. But it's big concerns for Sharks after finishing second last year.
You know the biggest concern for me, Jimmy, is their defence. You know, when they lose, they leak more than 30 points. And knowing Fitzy, he's all defence type of coach. So he'd be
Well, he was
filthy
in
at that.
charge of the Roosters' defence.
He was, mate. He was. And you speak to everyone out of the Roosters, mate, he's just all D. You know, and he gets disappointed if a team scores 1 try, let alone I think we scored 6 tries yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, when they lose, the Sharks concede 30-plus points. But when they win, they keep teams, you know, lower than 14. So they've got to get that right.
Well, they do. They certainly need to fix their defence up. Nicho Hynes had a try assist stolen from him.
Oh, he did, yes. Poor bloke.
It wasn't forward, but he's been in the spotlight for his reaction to that. What are your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I was on the field at the time, and I was like, "Oh, damn," because it looked like a great pass.
Yeah, well, it was.
It was just he just played what was in front of him. He seen a couple of our edges jam and just went over the top to Sione Katoa, and I was just filthy because I was like, "Oh, damn!" And then you just see the ref lift the arm up and blow the forward pass, and from what I heard on the field, I didn't hear any swear words or anything. I just think from what I heard was he said that was three times in a row. I don't think that's too bad. If he had a swore at the touch judge or something like that, then you sort of go, all right, mate, like pull your head in. But to only say that was that's the third one, I do it all the time.
Like, he's the captain.
He can ask the question.
And he's going like that. It's frustration. And, mate, how many times would we see players react to a decision.
Oh, mate, if I give a penalty away and I know I'm in the wrong, I still blow up.
It's just like doing, sir. Like,
yeah, I know.
What? Like,
every time you try to get a quick play of the ball, sir, get him off me.
I genuinely think this is a massive overreaction based off the fact that it's Nicho Hynes and the fact that he's a bit of the pin-up boy.
He is the pin-up boy, yeah.
And, people are comparing it to the Reece Walsh incident. It's nothing like the Reece Walsh incident.
Reece Walsh swore.
At the referee.
At the ref.
Nicho
Hynes said 3.
Completely different.
Right,
completely different. And it's a frustration.
It was because yesterday that things weren't going their way. Exactly when it was happening, there were a couple of points were getting piled on, and you've been in the same situation before, Jimmy. It happens all the time. But like I said to you, if you had a swore directly at the ref or at the touch judge, all the right in the world to go off and pull him back in the reins. But to only say that's the third time, that is nothing wrong with that.
It's just a complete overreaction. And like the thing with the Reece Walsh thing is you suspend him for doing it, and it de-incentivizes anyone doing that again, or it makes people think before they speak.
Exactly.
When I'm addressing the referee, sir, ma'am, whatever it may be, but you don't use swear words.
Yep.
You don't use the C word in front of them.
Not at all. Because they've all got a microphone, you can hear it.
So that's and you suspend players, send a message.
Yeah.
And that trickles down to the lower grade comps where I know referees have a really hard time, which is absolutely insane that people think that they're playing NRL out on the parks.
We need refs, and they do a great job.
And I support them 100%. But what I also support is players being allowed to be frustrated at a decision because that's passion. You care.
I was about to say what? So if he throws a forward pass, doesn't throw a forward pass, but he gets pulled up as a forward. So you just want them to just clap it and be happy. Okay, it was a bad decision. I'll just move on. You want us, and then we spoke about the other week with the cheese. People are blowing up because he's laughing after the game. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't.
Look, with the Nicho Hynes thing, it's obviously a bit of a slow.
Oh, like you said, he's the pin-up boy at the moment, and then like it's the tall poppy syndrome we live in Australia. They always want to bring the people down.
But like, how many times would we see big decisions get questioned by a referee? What about...
Mate, I did it yesterday.
Chad Townsend, Val Holmes ends up getting sin binned, and he's actively engaging in conversation with the referee.
That was a lot worse. That was a lot worse than Nicho.
And also, he was allowed to continue on.
Yep.
Chad Townsend was going... making a case in point instead of just going, no, I've made the decision. The box made the decision. Go.
Exactly right.
Like, there's so many examples, but we cherry pick one because it's Nicho Hynes.
Jonathan Thurston used to do it all the time. The big dogs always do it because they're always at the referee. It's just what happens. It's just a competitive spirit.
Even this, like, that's all he's done,
mate. I don't even know why we're talking about it. Jimmy. It's honestly, it should. It's a storm in a teacup.
We're talking about it because we're going into defence for him.
Yeah. He should have not an issue if he gets let alone suspended. If he gets a fine, I'll be like, it's a joke.
Mate, it is,
and I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, me too. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about AG1, the daily foundational nutritional drink with all your needs in the one place. I like to look after my health, and AG1 takes care of that for me. No more tablets, vitamin pills. All the health, nutrition I need, all in the one place. Every single morning, it's as easy. Open up the fridge, scoop of AG1 in a glass, cold water, stir it with a fork, drink it. It tastes great, and it helps me know. It gives me the peace of mind that all my nutritional needs are taken care of, all in the one drink. It really is as simple as that. And also, anybody that knows anything about health benefits knows that it comes with adding simple routines to your day. It's not about magic pills. They're not going to work. AG1 helps me be the best version of myself by having this new habit of every single morning having that drink. I know my nutritional bases are covered thanks to AG1. A lot of athletes are now taking AG1, and with 75 high-quality ingredients, it's no wonder why. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy round. That's drinkag1.com/buy ag1.com/buy round. Check it out. A team that some people are feeling sorry for at the minute is the Bunnies. No Latrell Mitchell again.
Yeah, it's a long calf injury, Jimmy. I've never done a calf, but
it is, well,
it's 12 weeks now. Just before Origin 1.
Just before Origin 1. Yeah, and then
but every week you hear he's about to play, and then I thought he was guaranteed to play last week. And you know what? If he plays, you think they win straight away.
Well, there's a couple of things. There's a lot of pressure on him now. There's a lot of pressure on South out the
not
8.
just him, but South Sydney.
But pressure for when he comes back to be the inspiration for that team. And then you look at calf injuries. One thing you would like is to be at home. They've got this road trip around Australia where they go. There was Sunny Coast against the Broncos, Tamworth against the Tigers this week.
Yep.
They go to Perth to play the Sharks. Then they're in Cairns to play the Dragons. Then they're in Newcastle. That's a lot of travel.
Do you reckon
and a lot of airplane travel as well.
I wonder if they come back to Sydney then go again, or if they're just on the road the whole time.
I reckon there'll be some,
because that's a fair bit of travel. Because then you got to come back to Sydney, then Sydney to Perth, Perth to Sydney, Sydney to Cairns. That's a lot of travelling. And like you said, that's probably the worst thing for soft tissue injuries. So,
speaking of travel, maybe he should have gone to America like he did for his hamstring.
He's had 12 weeks off. He was only over there for 10 days, wasn't he?
Why'd you go for your hamstring and not your calf?
It's a great question. We probably could have said the same thing about Tommy. Should have went for his pec.
Just saying. America's got all the answers apparently, but no, I still think the Bunnies will make the 8. They've got class. They've got a.
Like Cody Walker,
they've got a favourable draw coming up.
They do, but
still,
so they've got the Tigers this week, right? So remember, if you watch a lot of the years, they always beat Tigers once and lose once to the Tigers. I don't. It's like a little funny hoodoo, and Tigers tend to get excited. Do you remember the other year when South was going so well and the Tigers got the 1-point field goal? Beat him in Golden Point.
Yeah. And the Tom Burgess
got that. Yeah. He got that try. That was a try. They thought then Brooksy runs that length. Mate,
they're always tight games.
They're tight games. So it's a game that they're not going to, they won't take it easy.
No. Look, Souths need to start winning. Otherwise,
And Brooksy's back this week too.
Oof.
So they'll have a bit more in the tank for attacking Tigers. Because that's what they've been lacking. They just can't build pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, they were poor against the Dragons. First half, they went all right.
Yeah, they went good. But even the tries they scored, the ball bounced on the ground, lucky bounce.
Yeah, look, if Souths can't beat them, then you worry big time. But
I think
for Souths, the concern is, look, they've got a favourable bye schedule, but then they get into the 8. But if they're in that bottom half, they'll be looking back at this season and going,
missed opportunities.
We really should be
up higher. And they've beaten Penrith. They've beaten the top side. They've beaten Brisbane.
After 10 rounds. They were the best team in the competition.
I reckon even a month ago, Jimmy, I would have said the only team that can beat Penrith is Souths. And then
they need to find some form because, mate, even if you look at the makeup of the top 4 especially.
I think that's done.
I think there's a fair chance that there's only going to be one Sydney team, and that's Penrith.
Yes, they'll be first. And then you've got Brisbane.
You're going to go Brisbane in there.
Warriors
in there. And then you're looking at maybe Storm or Cowboys. Canberra.
Mate, Cowboys, mate.
And with that, all of those teams, if they can get home semis, like the Warriors especially, they are just going to... They spoke about this connection to what it means to be a Warrior, the Warriors culture.
Yep.
They've got Auckland behind them. They've got the whole nation of New Zealand behind them. If they finish top 2, ride them all the way to Sydney.
Because I listened to Andrew Webster on the radio on the weekend, and he was just saying you get probably about 10,000 to a Super Rugby game. They get 25,000.
Yeah,
it's like they're the hottest ticket at the moment.
Magic what they've been.
How cool is it when they run out? It's like WWE.
I know.
It's the best. Because we called them on the weekend when they versed Cameron. I loved it. And you just see the boys. I was getting goosebumps watching them come out. It's unreal. I've got a good mate, Luke Metcalf, over there.
Yeah.
And he goes, mate.
Tell you what, he's playing well.
Oh, he's outstanding. He's another one that the Sharks They just couldn't keep him because they got so many halves. But he goes, mate, when we run out, it's the best. Like it's like the hairs on the back of your neck, the goosebumps just go up, and like we know we're on.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, Bunnies went to New Zealand and won.
Without a lot of players.
Without a lot of players, and they've got it in them. But yeah, this.
Can I say one thing to you? A moment in the game on the weekend frustrates me so much in our game. The bunker obstruction calls.
Go on.
Reece Walsh, when he did the backflip, loved it, raised $5,000 for charity, but it was no try.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And you know what the problem is?
It went the outside shoulder of Cody Walker, and it stops him from making a defensive read.
You know what's happening at South Sydney training this week?
They're going to take a dive.
JD goes to them, take a dive.
Or just get caught up on the lead.
Just unfortunately, Cody Walker's not...
Too honest.
Is not being rewarded for his integrity. Because he could take a dive there. And I've seen so many players take... Man, I was so pissed off about this.
I was watching it, Jimmy, at home, and I'm like, oh, sweet, they're going to go back. Like I said, poor old Walsh, he's done a backflip.
He's thrown off.
I was saying to my missus, I was like, surely the sports bet still give him $5,000 because that's a huge effort. Then I seen the bottom of the screen, try confirmed.
Yeah, and it was a joke.
I was like, this is
it was an absolute joke.
And this is why we get angry as a fan, because it's just consistency.
But also, I don't want to have to see a player
take a dive,
fall on his backside, put his hands up in the air, and go, "Oh, I was obstructed."
Yeah, it kills it. The
referee should be able to see that and go. But what I know the conversation that JD is having with Cody. Look, I love what you do. I love that you're trying to do the right thing. But next time, mate, and then just go on your bum.
The other conversation that JD is going to have is with the referee's boss. Sorry, come back Monday. Yeah, that was a penalty. But see, that was a pivotal moment of that game because they get a penalty 40 metres out, have an opportunity to go down the other end when the scores are tight.
Yeah, exactly. And it had a big impact on the game.
Massive
impact.
Might not have won in the game, but it's just like, come on, guys, we go to the bunker, outside shoulder. Yeah. It's in the laws. It's in the laws of the game.
It's pretty simple to me. Pretty simple. Like I say, this top four makeup and a lot of non-Sydney teams, like,
good for the game.
They're all. It is great for the game, but they're all looking at plotting their pathway to, because the grand final has been confirmed. It's going to be in Sydney. They're all looking at plotting their way, and that huge advantage.
You need to be in the
at home. I don't know if you do with the bye schedule for a couple of teams. So like South,
because they got second last round.
Yeah, and they've just had one recently. Yeah. Parramatta, they've got the last game of the season.
Have you seen Para's draw?
Para's draw
is
horrible. Wow. And with no Brown, no RCG, Lane gone as well with that horrible dislocated elbow.
I'm so glad they didn't show that again.
Look, Hodgson as well. I don't think he's going to be back.
I heard he's going to retire.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, it's sad to see him.
What a player, Bart.
Mate, legend. Absolute legend.
I've heard he's a great bloke.
Mate,
Mitchell speaks so highly of him.
One of the best. So fingers crossed he can get back next year. But
I hope he does.
I guess we'll see. But with Para, I don't know if they might. I think the only way they get in is if they limp in. And
like you said, Dylan Brown's been huge.
Yeah, that's massive. The only way Para go in is if Sharks, Bunnies just go into free fall and they scrap a few wins together, because like I say, it's that 13 wins. But the good thing is, guarantees your finals. I don't think 12 wins get you in this year.
And for and against, Jimmy.
So
whereas Para have good for and against.
They do 89, but Para on 10 wins. So,
but they've got Storm. I think they've got Penrith again, don't they?
10 wins with 5 games to go, and they've got a tough old draw to finish off.
But you know what's good about that?
5 games. Let's see who they've got. Storm after a loss. Dragons, Broncos away. It's Storm away as well. Roosters, and then Penrith away. So you've got to win 3. So you're going to have to beat. You're going to have to, realistically, Para are going to have to beat either Melbourne in Melbourne,
and Penrith,
Brisbane in Brisbane, or Penrith at Penrith.
And Penrith, that'll be round 26. So they won't rest no one. They might rest someone for 27.
Look, they do normally play well against Penrith.
Yes.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But it's a horrible situation. I think Para have been dudded a little bit with their schedule at the start of the season, playing so many top teams
But they were
straight off
so
a bye.
close too.
I know. And
we
then,
caught a few of them together, like the Melbourne game, the Sharks ones. They should have won
and then
those games.
Their draw towards the back end is
Tough.
So I don't know if Para make it. I really don't. But who else gets into that last spot? What's really advantageous for Manly and for Newcastle is some of these teams are in the 1 point, but some of these teams are in free fall.
Yeah,
like Sharks are in free fall,
they're under the
Para
pump
in
now.
free fall, Souths are in free fall.
Well, Sharks have got Penrith into
Penrith,
Souths.
Souths, Titans, Cowboys away, Knights away, and Raiders at home. So that's a tough draw. So
Tough draw.
look, I'm excited. Who knows where it's going to go? The Cowboys are one of the teams that's just on the up. I think
Love watching them play.
Great to watch. That try that Drinkwater scored, where Townsend has stopped and gone again.
Man, I got stepped cold by Drinkwater the other week.
The tempo was insane. Drinkwater, he's up there with best player in the comp at the moment.
You know, we spoke about Dally and medalist, mate. He would have got 3 points every game in this last 6-7 weeks that they've won.
Yeah, look, a lot got made of the Cowboys at the start of the season with the decision to allow the hammer to go and go over to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
what was the right call? But you can't fit both. Can you play the hammer in the centres?
Yeah,
but Val Holmes is one, Hiku's the other. I mean,
frees up Cap too.
Yeah, look, you can't keep them all when you got two.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing. Jimmy.
Yeah, but I think you look at it and you go, well, Drinkwater or the hammer. It's like,
and the other thing is,
Drinkwater's playing outstanding.
Nenai was suspended a couple of times for 3 or 4 weeks. Tomalolo's been out for long periods of time. They just had injuries at cruel times. A really underrated player on that side, Tommy Dearden.
Yes.
Love watching him play. As a half, I love a running half.
Yeah.
And he just backs himself.
He's quick as well. He's like a closet quick.
Yeah, he's like Ben Hunt, good base.
Yeah.
Like once they take off, you got to go at him. You got to throw everything at him.
Yeah. The Cowboys, again, they're another team that will be looking for top 4.
Yep.
It's funny, I asked Todd Payton, how do you separate yourself and get up to the top 4? And he's like, well, just win.
Just keep
I was
winning.
like, thanks for that insight. I was probably looking for something a little bit more nuanced than that. But he's like, well, it's just as simple as win. I know that. But he's done such a good job up there. Tamalolo off the bench, I think that works well for them. Like the destructive nature of Tamalolo. He's,
when we played him the other week, Jimmy, it's the speed they play at. Size, you can sort of just, they're big, they're aggressive, but their line speed and defence is quick. When they're coming onto the ball, if Reece Robson sees one marker, he goes. Then Drinkwater jumps off the back of it. Val comes in, gets in behind, the first defender, a defender. It's like they're playing touch footy, but they're playing tackle as well.
Yeah.
And everyone's on board.
They tire you out.
Oh.
They make you physically and mentally.
And their back rowers, Leilua, Nenai, they've got Helium Lukey on the...
I think Nanai's got an AC issue, but speaking to Todd Payton yesterday, it's just going to be a matter of get used to this needle going into your shoulder, pal.
You'll be right, kid.
Yeah, and you won't feel a thing until about 2 hours after the game. You're like,
won't be able to sleep, champ.
Yes, it is.
I don't even think you can even bring it up that high.
Well, those AC joints, for those the listeners that don't know, they do, but you have a great painkiller injection, throw a needle in there, and it basically numbs the joint. So you can
feel good as gold.
You can effectively tackle people, run, play a game of rugby league football, with a needle in your AC. That said, obviously, if you are injured and then you further damage it, it's going to be painful. Once that pain killing injection wears off, it's
like you got a broken shoulder.
Yeah. And you just think, could I just keep getting them in there all day? You'd be happy to get
the worst thing is training.
Yeah.
The training all weeks is the worst. That's probably just going to suffer.
Yeah, but it's good news for the Cowboys
Great
that Jeremiah Nane isn't going to be sidelined with that. Or he won't need an extended period of time anyway.
Semi Valamai.
Mate, what a player.
Couldn't get a start in Canberra.
Yeah.
He's a try-scoring machine up at the Cowboys.
What a player. Hey, what did you make of the... Val Holmes?
I agree with Chad. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good hit.
But he's made contact with him in the head.
It's the whiplash that's made the contact.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I know, but it's a great hit.
I know it is, but have you? Nah,
Jimmy,
I think they're trying to basically outlaw that tackle. That tackle where they come
we
up and in
the
from the
jam
wing,
from outside,
the jam from outside.
Yeah.
But I reckon if you were to look at failed HIAs or concussed player tackle incidences or scenarios that make that lead to a player being concussed or Cat 1 or Cat 2, it's that up and in tackle would be the most common mode of failing a HIA or receiving a concussion.
Because a lot of the times when blokes get caught outside in, they're either falling and they try to pass, and that's why they get hit. Mitchell Moses is one of my best mates. Why doesn't he get a HIA?
Because he didn't.
But he goes down like this on the ground, like staying down there like he's been hit. He's complaining to the ref about it.
Well, there was another one in the Dragons-Tigers game, Jerome Bula. He got hit by one of the boys. Stayed down, looked at the ref. He should have been off for 10 minutes.
I agree with you. As soon as you stay down.
Yeah. And look, I think what they're basically trying to say with that, yes, it was the whiplash effect. But you as a defender have got the duty of care, and you've got to factor that in. You've got to factor that into your tackle. And I think it's good that he's only been fined and he's not going to miss any games.
Glad he's only
because
fined.
There'd be much more fallout from this. But I think what the NRL are saying is you've got to factor that in now. If you go and charge out the line like that, but you've got to factor in the fact that your shoulder the tackle may begin at the shoulder and rise up. You may hit there and rock the head back and forth, but you've got to factor that in.
You know, my one that I get nervous at now is the kickoff runs when you're defending. Yep. Because you look a lot of the time, guys lean. We're told to lean and use bumpers. And if someone leans coming into us defending, we're definitely going to hit shot on the head. And like yesterday, we were playing against a good mate of mine, Toby Rudolph, and he's got a really good bump. So you're basically sort of trying to catch him because if I lean into him, I'm going to hit his shot. You'll get his shoulder on head down straight away.
They're the two most common areas that would.
It's the jam and the kickoff runs.
Would lead to. I actually spoke about this, about whether or not the game needs to look at how they restart the game. Like the
20-meter run up.
Because the players are too far apart.
Yeah.
Whether you start with a tap on
20-meter line or something.
7 tap each. Instead of doing a kickoff, you start with like a 7 tackle
reward.
Whatever it may be. I don't know. It's something for them to look at further.
Stop those big collisions.
Stop those big, huge kickoff collisions.
And you run into 3 blokes.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. And you go on to full steam ahead.
Yeah, it's a pretty
tough carry.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well,
and as a defender, you just want to come flying in.
Or you could just do the Marty Tapu style off the kickoff.
Hurdles. What was that, mate? He's so Marty is so lucky he did not clip Campbell Graham in the jaw, because that would have done some damage. And he's missed a few weeks with a sternum injury too.
Mate, look,
I'm so surprised.
I like Marty. I was with him at the Dogs, and I think he's a good. Fundamentally, he's a good person. This isn't an attack on his character or anything like that. But we've had those moments where you're like, "What happened there?" And that, for me, that was one of those moments where you just look at it and you go,
"What are you doing?
What did that happen?" Like every time they kept replaying it, I was like.
But he goes in
at
last minute. He goes,
the goose step.
Yeah, but he got warned. Kevy Walters come out and said he got a letter and got warned from the NRL from the week before.
Yeah, I believe.
That's what makes it worse.
Yeah, I know, and I think he's very fortunate to just get the 3 weeks.
Very lucky to get 3 weeks. If Campbell Gillard got what did he get? 4?
4.
Yeah, I thought that's carrying the ball with more intent.
Yeah, well, I think, like you say, mate, we can look at this situation. And thankfully,
I'm glad no one got hurt.
Because that is like a missile going into Campbell Graham. If he clips him anywhere in the face, in the neck, like we're talking like serious hospitalization.
To his credit, got up straight away.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and you know what? As well, to his credit,
see the next kickoff.
He went after him.
The next kickoff, he beeline for him, didn't he?
Yeah, I
loved it.
I love that about
great play, Campbell Graham.
He is, but he went, I'm not just going to
look straight for him,
and that is the mark of a person that's not affected by something. That was outstanding to see. The spray from Craig Bellamy, you reckon that was fair?
Yeah, I do, because they got off to a really good start. They're up
12-0,
12-0,
cruise control.
You would have thought, geez, this is going to be a long night for Newcastle, and then literally from that period of time when I think Liero got that soft try up the guards. Newcastle just switched on.
But Sims got
on Hastings,
Simsy.
He's got it in him, hasn't he?
Can't help himself.
He just
and then
gets excited.
They concede 3 tries. But actually, I was speaking with Gordon Tallis yesterday, and he brought up a very good point. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when Christian Welsh was in that press conference, and he said, "Geez, the Knights get beat from Penrith. Penrith had no one."
I remember that.
Gordon was like, how much of a factor?
I would have been telling the boys all week.
That's all you need to do for your pre. Like, and to be fair, when Melbourne jumped out to that lead, I thought, well, good luck. But I reckon that plays a part.
Any motivation's good motivation, Jimmy. And then the funny thing was, I seen on social media, someone wrote to him, "What happened against them?" He goes, "Yep, 2-0. They got me twice now." he gave credit where credit was due.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, like I say, Knights are back in the fight, as are the Manly Sea Eagles, which is great for everyone that's involved in the game. All right, now it's time for this. Questions from the fans or fans' feelings.
Fan feelings. Nothing more than feelings. How do you feel?
Yeah, big shout out to Tooheys. Great supporter of the show. I do enjoy a Tooheys or two.
Great drop too.
Great drop.
Oh, or two.
Or two, yeah. You're not pulling up stumps at 2. Well, if you are, you're a better man than me.
Both of us.
First off, we've got a question from Sam Holland. What is your go-to cheap meal? Woodsy, I'll go to you first on this.
Mate, the big fella, I love a cheap meal. After a game, I love the Portos.
Really?
Yeah, 2 big Norm burgers and their chips.
What's in a Norm burger?
So it's like 3
What
chicken.
a weird name for a burger.
Well, it's like they used to call it Bondi
Norm.
burger, but no chili.
But what's Norm? Like as in normal or normal?
I've got no idea. It's just because I used to. So when I lived in Leica, I used to live next door to a Portos. So you could imagine how many times a big fella would have ventured down there. But mate, and it's got to be fresh chips, extra chicken salt. If I don't get that, the missus sends me back through drive-through.
It's one of my actual favourite things about Australia, chicken salt.
Really?
Yep. One of the things you don't get anywhere else.
It is the best. And then Prego sauce on the side.
Yeah, chicken salt is that. You know what else is pretty good about Australia?
What's that?
Wedges with sour cream and sweet chili. Don't get that anywhere else.
Really?
Nope.
Not in England.
No. Never seen it anywhere else.
That is a perfect little meal in England because when it's cold, you get the wedges out.
Wedges with sour cream, sweet chili. It's an eye opener. It's a game changer. In fact,
with a Tooheys to wash it down with.
Yeah. In fact, do you know what? The cheap meal, like not that a cheap meal sort of implies that you're on some sort of strict diet, and then, but when you're not, I reckon, wedges with sweet chili and sour cream.
But where do you stop? Pizza, pasta?
Like, is that cheap? I don't know. Pasta's not.
Nah, the pasta I get the
if you
carbonara.
Yeah, that's
wash it down with the Coke.
What do
how long we got for this thing?
You know what? A good burger with swap out your fries.
Paul's famous hamburgers.
Very good.
Have you had Paul's?
Very good.
It is one of the best hamburgers I've ever had in my life.
And you know the best thing about it as well?
Chips. What?
It's free.
The boys, hello boys, you two the best. We love you.
But yeah, go somewhere, good burger. Like maybe a medium burger. Like, you get the high end ones.
No, you got to be sloppier. The sloppier the better.
You go sloppy.
I don't like the crispy chicken on the burger. I just like the sloppy. Nah, just the patties. Oh.
Crispy chicken with bacon on a burger. That is. In fact, that's my go-to cheap meal.
I'm telling you, Paul's
fried chicken burger with bacon, cheese,
fried chicken, no.
on a burger, mayo. Boom. Thanks for coming. Can I swap out the? Can I swap out the chips for wedges? Thank you. Is that going to charge me anymore? No, we'll look after you. Boom.
Paul's
thank you.
Best chips too.
But mate, wedges. I reckon you got to go the wedges. So when you say sorry, I need to pull you up on something here. Burger with the lot. Yeah. What's in the lot?
So you got onions, you got egg, you got pineapple, beetroot. We don't rate it.
That's
barbecue sauce with mayo.
I spoke about some of the best things about Australia. Some of the worst things about Australia. Also in like,
You're kidding.
get anybody from overseas who puts a fucking pineapple on a burger.
Oh, it's sweet. It's beautiful. Are you?
Yeah, I know
are you,
what
a, are you a pineapple man on pizza?
No,
Kidding yourself.
Like-
It's the best.
only only
It's
at
the
like
best.
only at a buffet would I ever take a slice of Hawaiian.
You're kidding yourself. And you know what?
And it's not even Hawaiian. That was made up. So I've read the
I don't-
story.
yeah, I don't- I
about,
don't understand that.
I've read the story about how that came out. But mate, the burger with the lot, right? It's too much.
Nah.
There's no like flavor. It's just like, oh, what the
There's
fuck can
so
we put
much
on
flavour.
this?
So
Egg,
much flavour.
bacon, beetroot.
You know, the
You're
only
on,
thing.
on your own report for
Mate,
putting a
the only
you,
thing-
you should have to answer to the match review committee if you think
Well, the bunker will get it wrong anyway.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're just gonna put this beetroot on this burger.
He's
yeah.
running the wrong line, mate. He's
What?
outside. Yeah, the only bad thing about the burger with a lot is when you got a beard, you still have some for Ron later on.
See, I'd rather get 2 normal burgers.
And then can I say, wash it down with a Coke Slurpee.
Coke Slurpee.
My favourite.
Are you double patty or double burger?
Double what?
Double like would you prefer a double patty? So you go,
Oh, patty.
double patty or double burger?
Double burger.
Yeah, double
More
burger.
bread, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
me too. I can care.
The best.
Even sometimes go double burger, no chips.
Yeah, I'll go that because you feel better for yourself.
Yeah,
But it's completely not.
no, I know. You're way more fuller from double burger
100% you are.
than
And it feels like it's better for you.
yeah. Somehow, I mean, it's just a sandwich, really, isn't it?
That's all it is, man.
That's all it is. It's just a fucking,
It's a sandwich.
just
And
a
then
sandwich.
with the chips, you sort of go, oh, they're a bit oily.
yeah,
and
yeah. Just have 2. What's worse, 2 sandwiches or a sandwich and chips?
2 sandwiches better.
2
for you.
sandwiches way better for
Way
you.
better for you.
Yeah.
There's more salads in it, so it's more healthier.
Yeah, obviously, we are not giving out nutrition advice here.
Not
But
at
if
all.
anyone's like hanging on, oh, you know what?
Manly
yeah.
dietitian's going to really love me after this segment.
We've got a question from Darius. No surname provided. Jimmy, can you please explain the pull your pants down comment from Fox League on Friday night? Tony, I think you've got this clipped up for us, haven't you? So can you play this one?
But what he does when you're at marker in the middle of the field, he keeps you honest at all times. If you clock off for half a second, he'll pull your pants down and he'll put someone through the back of you.
Ooh, it sounds bad, that doesn't it?
Oh, we know what you're saying, but it just
It's industry language.
we use it
it's
all the time
it's-
in video sessions. Like he'll pull your pants down,
Yeah.
and they'll come straight through.
It's industry language. It just sounds bad. I had another one on the weekend as well from Triple M.
Did ya? What was it?
Tony, have you got this one? Well, basically I said, because Nathan Cleary got penalised
Yes.
for removing a Bulldogs player
Okay.
off one of his team. I think it was Dylan Edwards made a run.
Yep.
They were in the tackle.
And pull him off.
And that's what I said. I said Nathan Cleary
See,
is
I said it
clearly
without even knowing.
without even knowing. And that's again, it's in industry language.
Were you calling with Maroon?
No, I was calling with Dang and Gordon Tallis.
Well, Dan wouldn't have said anything, but Gordy would have.
They were both. No, Dan got Charlie to clip it up.
Oh,
And there was some in the Bulldogs games. There was some moments of silence, and anytime there was a moment of silence, Dan goes, "Jimmy, stop it!" Because if there's a moment of silence, going to play this, and then it just go. He's clear. Nathan Cleary's pulled off one of the Dogs players there.
oh no!
It got played about 4 or 5 times, but
It's footy talk.
it is. It's
It's
footy.
the lingo.
It's industry language, and
Yes.
that's what Wade Egan do. Pull your pants down, put one through the back of you.
Mate, and he did it quite a few times.
Yeah, exact. And was I right? Near core at first
Spot
try,
on.
boom.
Short side
Engage marker, boom. Not concentrating.
Pull the
Pants down, try.
Mate, there's nothing. Yes, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the way you said it.
Yes, and in context,
Did you go bright red or what?
mate, I didn't even.
So no one picked it up on the panel.
On the panel, it was kind of like, oh,
Who was on the panel?
myself, Yvonne Sampson, Cooper Cronk, and Corey Parker.
Oh, well, Cooper's a stiff. He wouldn't have picked that up.
It was just.
I'm surprised Corey didn't get it.
It was just. I think there was a bit of a like, oh, put your pants, like nothing. Me. My disappointing thing in myself is that is a classic for you just throw after it. Oh, as an actress said to a bishop, or oh, that's what she said.
Uh-oh.
Or actually, you got to in inclusive language. That's what he said.
That's what he said, yes.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Now, what a great line. That's what they said.
I reckon it was a ripper. And it was good whoever picked it up because TikTok famous, Jimmy.
Yeah. You know it's bad when even Gordon Tallis is saying, you're TikTok famous. And you're like, what are you doing on TikTok?
Mate. Well, can I say, I did listen to a little bit of that radio on Sunday, and everything Gordy referred back to was getting your pants pulled down. So
Yes,
I think he loved it.
he was milking it.
The big fella.
He was milking
It was either milking that or milking Dobbo.
Yes. It's hilarious. For those listeners that
You have to
that
listen
don't
to
know,
Sunday show.
Sunday Simbin, it's the
Bag Dobbo-a-thon.
highlight of the week. It is
One of my favourites.
It is like we are just sitting.
It's
in a
like
pub.
you
It's like
four blokes in the schoolyard.
Well, or in a pub, just
In a pub having a schooner.
and just putting crap on each other, and it's brilliant. I love it. Last question, Mick. No surname provided, but boys, what are your thoughts on Bradman Best hitting the open market? Which club could use a centre like him if he was to leave the Knights? Good question, Mick. He's been in phenomenal form since his origin. He's one of those players that I think, I often wonder, do some clubs really want their players playing state of origin? Well,
Mm.
Bradman Best is an example where you go, I want my players coming back and performing like him.
He has come out a different player since then. He's been outstanding, like you said, Jimmy. But there was a bit of talk about this before Origin, and it's what happens when, Callum Ponga's on a lot of money. Tyson Frizzell's just re-signed. He played Origin, so he would have demanded some good money. I think one of the Safidi boys has been almost told that he can leave as well, or if he finds another opportunity. But, geez, the way Bradman Best has come back out of Origin, I would, as a Newcastle, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd hate to see him somewhere else. Because he's a Central Coast junior. He's been in the lower grades of Newcastle for a long period. They've instilled Newcastle into him. They've put so much money into his growth and development. You'd hate to see him leave, but a side that I think would really benefit from him could be a side like the Roosters. Left centre. They're sort of struggling a bit there at left centre at the moment. They've got obviously Billy Smith that's in and out. I think he's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah. I don't know if that's like their primary. Well, it depends if Swally he goes to rugby early. Yeah.
They could move Swallow here on early.
Yeah, you could be onto something there, Mr. Woods.
Yeah. So, and
I think Newcastle have got to do their utmost to keep him.
You'd hate to see him in another jersey, and just the energy and watching him celebrate the other night around the boys. He looks like such one of the teammates that they love. Like he's a character of the group. I was watching clips from the Origin, just him doing the silly dances in the gym, and just the boys getting around him. So he creates energy and players feed off that. So you wouldn't want to lose him. And like I said, local junior, the amount of hours and money they've put towards him already.
Yeah. Put simply, they've got to keep him.
They have to.
They've got to keep him. All right. Well, that just about wraps us up for an edition of not Jam and Cheese, Jam and Woods. But Woodsy, been great to have you on.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for coming in after a magnificent victory against the Sharks, the Battle of the Beaches.
Yes.
Wish you all the best on the rest of your
Appreciate
season.
it, mate.
And I'm sure I'll be seeing you in about half an hour
Half an hour, buddy.
Monday Scrum. All right, take it easy. Thanks for listening, everyone.